Yo, what's up, everybody? Simple Investor here today. We had a question in the comment box, pretty much asking what is a brief history on the Fibonacci tool, how it came about, and what are some common mistakes we can make using the tool. All right, so that's what I'm gonna be trying to answer today, and let's get started with the intro. All right, cool. So we're back from the intro. Tell me if you liked it. I'm trying to add that into the episodes. All right, so to answer this question from Idris, I'm sorry if I slaughtered your name. All right, so brief story about Fibonacci. Sorry, that's my keyboard. Brief history about Fibonacci. Pretty much, he was, from my understanding, he was a 13th century mathematician. He just happened to notice on pretty much an occurrence in math. All right. And he happened to notice that when you use this his system. So if you ever look at Fibonacci sequence, it's this Fibonacci. There you go. So this Fibonacci sequence is pretty much you doing that. Okay, that's not really what I want. This one right here. So like starts from 1, right? So then it goes 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5, and so on. So that's how you get their currents and that number. We get the spiral. All right, so I might be jumping real crazy, but I know this Fibonacci numbers have to do something with this rectangle here. And this rectangle is seen all throughout life. If you ever seen that, like that Jesus, or I'm not really sure, it's probably just a man. There's like as a naked man, and his hands are spread and everything. It was very famous in that, but pretty much you can see it in all aspects of life. So, for example, having a Sonic, you can see the square there. You can see in Arthur's hand. A lot of artists actually like to use the Fibonacci geometry, and pretty much replicate that time era of his, of great art. A lot of great art is using this geometry. All right, so you can see it in hurricanes, Trump's ear. I don't know what that is, but yeah, you see it throughout life in general. And the real interesting thing is that they always make a point of 61.8. All right, so somewhere in this is 61.8. I'm not sure, guys, but is very famous in the mathematician world or math world. All right, please, anybody who's really good with math, please correct me. But you could just put the Fibonacci sequence on top of everything. So pretty much that's kind of what they're trying to say about his discovery. It's just everywhere. Water drops, sound waves, so on and so on. All right, and the second part is how the numbers came about. Pretty much he used, I'm not sure how he discovered the number, but he pretty much, you see you guys, you got me talking on a subject I really don't know. But, he pretty much came up with this equation, and this is how you get in the sequence. And it just developed. But in trading though, the good part. In the trading part for us technical traders, we're using, pretty much we just take 2 points in the chart from the swing low to the swing high, right? And then we get the Fibonacci numbers that was discovered. So if you want to know how this 61.8, this 38.2, and this 23.6 are made, all you have to do is pretty much go right one. So for example, 34, right? And 21. So like start at 21 here and you go over 1. So 34 divided by 21 equals 61.8. If you want to get 38.2, you would just go 2 numbers over and you'll get your number. So for example, you could do 55 and 144, and that's how you get the 38.2. And then if you want the 23.6, you just go 3 over. So that's how you pretty much get these magical numbers. 23.6, 38.2, and 61.8. All right. And the other part of this question is, what are some common mistakes we can make using this tool? The tool is used several ways, and it depends on the trader. The trader who it works for, it works for them. The one who doesn't, it just doesn't. Because there's some people who really just trade off the 50% retracement zone. So some people, I mean, how you can make a mistake, you could get in too early. You're assuming it's going to hit 50, and you probably get into the trade, and the trade just continues to go down. You're not having no confirmation. So I guess the answer actually quickly answer that question is, I think you'd be using it wrong if you're doing this and not having a confirmation. You should, when you're trading, you should only get into trades when you have confirmations, and the confirmations are up to you, and they could come in several ways, and that's what makes every trader different. All right, but I could give you one example where it could be a nice confirmation for you to get in trade. Is, for example, you can wait until it crosses the Fibonacci zone areas. Like I said, 61.8 is the golden. 50 is good, but 61.8 is golden. I mean, actually, it's like the golden ratio, they call it. Pretty much 61.8. It's the sweet spot. All right, so you can wait for the market to cross the level, and then close above the level as well. So if I was me, depends on how this market was going, I like to see it cross, and once it crosses and it comes back up and crosses above it, close above it, that could be an entry for me to get in. So I mean, you could look at the 61.8, or you could look at the 50. So you could wait for the 50 to close. Like, all right, we passed. Actually, right here, you probably would have gotten this trade here, close up here, right? And you pretty much weigh it out from there. So you can put then depending on where you put the stop losses at too. So it's your risk reward ratio that you want to do, but you just need your own confirmations and your own rules. So if you would have waited for the 61.8, it crossed here, it went below it, and it closed above. You get in right here. Put your stop loss depending on what your strategy is. If you have a 2-to-1 stop loss, 3-to-1, whatever your ratio is, and you pretty much just ride it. So, and you ride it back upwards. All right, and yeah. The worst way you can use the strategy is not having a confirmation to get into the trade. That's probably the worst way, because you probably like, oh, it crossed a level, but it might just plummet through all the levels. You don't have a confirmation if the market is going back upwards. So that's pretty much my answer of how you could go wrong with that. Probably a long-winded answer, but I hope that helps. So, hey, I love a question like this. Ask me another question. Try to make another video on it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be doing a live YouTube giveaway for the Forex course this Friday at 7:30 p.m. All right, so everybody stay tuned, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.